Yeah. Yes.
Yes, we're here. Hi.
Hi, Claire.
Hello. This is such a treat. Isn't this fun?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, thank you so much for being open to this. I think I just reached out last week and said, "Hey, you want to go live and let's just chat?" And you were a good sport.
I am always up for getting together with fabulous people and chatting. It's my favorite thing to do.
And can I make a little confession? I almost sent you a message this morning to say, okay, what color are you wearing? So that we would not wear the exact same color or clash, because I know you like color too, like colorful. And so I think we complement each other pretty well here.
You got it just right. Yeah. That's amazing. We're on the same wavelength, because I almost sent you the same message. I love it.
Isn't that funny? Okay. And this is actually in line with what we're going to talk about. But imagine back in the boring old corporate days with a bunch of boring old corporate men, predominantly. Like you were there, I was there, right?
Yeah.
You would have never admitted, hey, I was going to call my work friend and ask what she's wearing today, right?
I didn't think in those ways at all back then.
No, it was navy suit, black jacket, right? Yeah. Well, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. We're new friends.
Yes.
But we've had such an amazing connection in such a short period of time that I feel like I've known you forever. And so will you tell, because all of my friends out there and people who see me do lives know I only bring people that I really care about and that I have an amazing connection with and could sit down over a cup of coffee or a cocktail and have fun. Will you tell my friends and people watching a little bit about you, because you will do a much better job than I will?
Oh, thank you, Claire. I'd love to, and I'm excited to get to meet your friends and connections. I am a business coach, and I work with entrepreneurs who are really passionate, have a big vision for something that they want to create in the world. They're really wanting to drive positive change in the world. And so they are so much fun to work with, and I can't wait to support them, because it's so important, to get your voice out there, to get the confidence to get your voice out there, and to share your important work. So that's what I do, and that's why I do it, because I just think it's so important for us to hear the voices of people who have up till now maybe been holding it back for various reasons. So yeah, I want to just help those people start speaking up and feeling really good about it.
And why entrepreneurs? What brought you to that kind of subset of the working world, the business world?
Entrepreneurship changed my life completely. I went from being someone who was very reticent, very shy, to having to learn how to speak up and take up space and share what I was doing. And, there's such a personal development journey in entrepreneurship. And I thought maybe I was unique in that when I first started going through all of this. I was like, what? Is this just me? But no, anyone who's done that and actually built a brand around them and their core talents has to really dive in deep. And there's such an intersection of personal growth that happens along with the business growth. And what I love about entrepreneurship is this kind of stepping into your power. If you've felt powerless in the past, if you felt overshadowed, or like you're always kind of out of the spotlight, that's got to stop. Because if you want to contribute in a bigger way, you've got to find the way to show up and push way out of your comfort zone. So yeah, that's why I want to see more people who are that passionate about what they do thrive, and especially women who have felt that maybe they were raised in a way that, they shouldn't really stand out too much. I think a lot of us grew up with that idea. And I think it's time for that to stop.
We were just talking about that before we went live, that we were talking about our children, and you have a son, I have two girls, and like that balance of wanting them to own their personalities and question and not accept everything, while not being that person or that kid too, right? It's like a whole balance.
Yes.
So what I'm really most curious about, because I am very familiar with burnout, experienced it. And the more I'm delving into this space, and I coach people in burnout too, kind of slightly different subset of people, but it is that I think a lot of people go into the entrepreneurial world, have their own business, start their own thing to get away from burnout, right? Or to avoid being told when and what and how, and they think there will be, a little bit more freedom or flexibility that comes with it. Yet burnout is rife with entrepreneurs. So why do you think that is?
That's such a great question, and you're spot on. I think that we do think that, when we start out our business, well, now I can set my own schedule, I can set my own terms for everything, I'm protected from that kind of that feeling. And yet entrepreneurial burnout is real, and it is intense. And the reason is that, especially for high achieving or very driven people, when you start a business, you go all in, right? Because it's your thing and you want to make it work. And that's what you're used to doing. You're used to equating success with hard work. And so when things aren't working so great, or you're just getting started and you're just figuring out what to do with the business, then you're going to work harder to fix it. And so, you're at risk for burnout when you work really long hours, when you feel like what you're doing has really high stakes, and when you're under unrealistic expectations. Those are the top three that I identify, I think, specifically for entrepreneurs. And that's what, we do. We have super high expectations for ourselves. We say, well, I'm not going to work out today because I need to get this thing out. I need to send out my email, and I'm going to just spend a couple more hours on that. And then, next thing we know, we're working a bit on Saturday, and then we're working late here and early there, and then it just piles up fast.
I feel like you've been in my head, or like over my shoulder, because the number of times I have foregone a workout or a walk or something because I had one more thing to do for my business, an email to send out, and you spoke directly to me, because and I'm sure so many people can relate. And that if you were in the corporate world, the business world, in whatever capacity, I was an attorney, you worked really hard, you got paid. The harder you worked, typically the more you got paid, or the more you kind of climbed the ladder or got the recognition. And that was the answer. You just worked more. And I was able to recognize I was in burnout just because of the physical impact it had on me. And I got out of it and started my own thing, and I've been on an evolution. And it was funny, within the first probably 8 months of me being in my own business, I realized I was equally as fatigued. I was sitting on the couch at midnight with my laptop out, stressed, tense. I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing all the things I dreamed of. And I was talking to my husband about it. And he said, but this was supposed to be better, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I was like, and I wasn't getting paid. Right?
That's the kicker, right? You're putting so much effort and you're not getting any kind of validation that you're going the right way.
Right. I was up at midnight and money was not coming into the bank account. And but I kept doubling down. And I remember having the realization, oh, but I brought me with me.
Exactly.
I was in an office over here with this title, with this job role, and I switched over here to this, and it's mine. But I'm still the same. Like, I brought me with me. So if I'm going to go all in and stress and go to the 10th degree, I'm going to do it in whatever capacity, right? And that's where I think the realization has to come for people to kind of hit that sweet spot of business success, generating income, while taking advantage of all of the things that the reason you started in the first place. Do you see that with your clients?
Absolutely, most of them actually. And I think it's definitely something that you can experience at any point in your business journey. So we think of it a lot as sort of starting out when you're just trying to get some traction, but also when you hit certain places where you're trying to scale up to the next thing, and maybe your team isn't working so well, maybe your systems aren't in place, maybe your messaging isn't right, so you're not actually landing with enough people to drive the things that you're trying to do. So there's all these different places where you can get to that place where you're just putting in more and more effort, and you're just emotionally more and more invested and more drained, right? So yes, I see it in so many of my clients. And one of the first things that goes out the door when you're in that state is the fun and the enjoyment of it, and the real purpose why you started it in the first place. And that, so much about what I do is about trying to reconnect to that fun and bringing the fun right back into your business. I often tell my clients, if it's not fun and you've chosen to do it because it's going to drive profit and revenue, it will stop generating profit and revenue pretty soon. So stop it. Just forget that. Let's do something else. There's a better way. There's always a better way.
And we're going to get to the better way. We really are. I want a couple of things I forgot to say at the beginning. We have people watching live. If they have questions for you, they can put them in the comments and we'll see them. So please, anyone watching, if anything pops in your head, or you have a thought or a comment or a question, just pop it in the comments and we'll see it. And anyone watching it on replay, do the same, and we'll come back and answer, and you'll have a chance to connect with Natalie and everything. So, okay. So when you have people, because we are going to get to the fix, but I want to, I'm like a squirrel.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm following you.
If I don't follow through on a thought, I'll lose it. I was that person, and I worked with coaches in the early days of my business journey before I became a coach. I didn't want to hear that. Like, I didn't want to hear have fun. Yes, I mean, in my heart, I wanted to have fun. Yeah. But again, years and years of conditioning had, like, fun was not part of it. Fun was not on the table. Fun was something you maybe put off and paid for at a later date and went on vacation if you earned it. But you didn't get to really have fun along the way in your growth and in the business. And so the very first time I had that advice, I reacted. It triggered me in some way, because what I asked my coaches, what I wanted them to help me with was, get me results, get me numbers, get me income, how do I do that? Like, put me on a checklist. What do I do? What do I do next? And it was so hard to take that step back, and that whole phrase, slow down to speed up. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. So how do you get that messaging across to people? Because I'm sure you do get that pushback. What do you say to the person who is like, sounds great, but there is no time for fun in my day?
Yeah, and like you said, Claire, that is a common response, and it is so much to do with this idea that most of us had growing up, that the fun was the reward for the hard work, and the resting is a reward for hard work. And so, yeah, that's really toxic. That's what I discovered when I hit burnout. I realized that that's what I was doing. I was always postponing things till well, when things get better in the business, then I'll sign up for the gym. Then I'll go to my dance classes. Then I'll do the fun stuff. But what I discovered in the healing process is that actually rest comes before the growth. The self, connecting to self and being really tuned in with your inner compass, so that you're no longer pulling in a direction that doesn't align with the things that really matter. So you're not doing something, right, just for the revenue, right, which is pulling you completely off center. So all of these things that we do build so much emotional stress. You know, when we're just pulling in the wrong direction, we're postponing rest, postponing fun. We forget to bring ourselves into our business. And so when we do the opposite and we rest and we start to live like we really want to live, which is really the privilege of being an entrepreneur, is you can say, I'm going to start my day at 10 a.m. or I'm going to start my day at 7 a.m. and then I'll exercise at the end of the, whatever it is. You prioritize what matters to you and what you need. Then we start to build resilience as well. Start to be able to create a plan for resilience.
But something you just said really clicked with me, because I experienced it just this morning. And I coach people in burnout, and I coach people in establishing healthy habits and boundaries and systems, and so all the things. And yet I'm not fixed. I'm never, it's a daily challenge. I was up through the night with my 7-year-old. She had trouble sleeping, and I was up with her for about 2 hours in the middle of the night. My day was supposed to start today at about 6. My alarm was going to go off. And I recognized at 4:40 this morning, like I wasn't going to be at my best in an hour. And I was looking forward to talking to you today. I have lots of things to do. And I had this whole battle go on in my head at 4:40 in the morning. Do I, don't I, do I, don't I? And I turned the alarm off, knowing that a household would wake me up at some point. I mean, I wasn't going to sleep till noon, like, the teenage days.
Yeah.
But I had to really release, and it's the healing, right? And that reminding yourself why. And I had to tell myself, for you to be at your best, you need some more rest. And you can get started at 10 or 9, and you can still accomplish a lot. Doesn't matter if you're not sitting there at 6 a.m. Everything is going to be okay today, but it'll actually be better if you prioritize that rest now.
Yeah.
That was not easy to do.
No.
Oh my goodness.
It's really not. Yeah, that's so important what you just said, because we hear all this self-care advice, right? We hear from our coaches, from everywhere in the media, make sure that you take time, breaks from your desk, and drink lots of water and go get some daily exercise. All of these things we know, but it's so hard. It is a commitment that you make every day,
Every day. That's the fun thing. So I did want to give a little bit of attention to how we met, because I think there's some really amazing lessons in that for people, particularly women in business out there. So tell everyone how we met and how we got actually talking on the phone, because you were the driver of that.
Yes. I attended a 5-day live event series that I can't remember. It was a while ago now, but it was a really fun live event, and you were invited by your coach Melissa to come and speak at the event. And so I wasn't able to tune in every day, but I happened to tune in on the day that you came in as a guest. And you spoke so clearly and elegantly about your journey and about your experience of working with this amazing coach. And I just felt all this resonance, like Claire's had so many similar experiences to me, and I really enjoyed just listening to your story, and I just felt that I really wanted to reach out to you. And so I did. I just thought it would just be great to be able to support one another in any way on our entrepreneurial journey. And I love doing that. I love connecting with people, just so that we can be in each other's worlds, and maybe one day you'll be able to support somebody and help someone along the way. And so that's why I reached out to you, so that we could connect. And we did. We just chatted away that first conversation we had. We had so much to share. It was so fun. So fun.
What I love about it, my takeaways that I just want to encourage everyone, is, first of all, show up for the stuff, right? Even if there's a thought in your heart or your head, maybe I should go to this, show up. Because that masterclass actually, bizarrely, like, it's a weird way for us to get together. It was a training class on how to work LinkedIn, right?
Yeah,
it was like
that's right.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And that's how I got started on some of my journey and met Melissa Hinault, who is now my business, spiritual, everything coach. She's an incredible human. A lot of what you said is stuff she talks about. She has so many great catchphrases, like bodies build business. So she got on at me a month or so ago because I'm not prioritizing exercise. She's like, where is the exercise in your calendar? I don't see it. And I'm like, but I have emails to do, but I have stuff. And she's like,
yeah.
So I have her in my ear, bodies build business. She works with a lot of entrepreneurs and recognize that they get into burnout. They trade in 9 to 5 for 5 to 9 and various things like that. And so, but what I love about what Melissa puts out there, and she will attract people who are like her. And so she attracted me and you, is she is very giving, and she is very much about expanding your network, helping others, working with other like-minded people, particularly women, finding a strong group of people to walk side by side in this entrepreneurial journey with you, because it can be very hard and lonely.
Yeah.
And so she encourages people to reach out. And something I've learned that coming from a legal background, I fought because it didn't serve me in the legal background, was collaborating with, being open to, and not closing myself off from people who seem to be doing what I'm doing. And by that, I mean, if you look at both of our profiles on LinkedIn or anywhere, we're both burnout coaches. We're both coaches.
Yeah.
We're both British.
Yeah.
We were on Messenger back and forth. It wasn't until we got on a Zoom, I was like, oh, where are you from? Oh my God. We're about the same amount of time. We're both American citizens. And it's a whole thing, right? We have so much in common.
So many similarities.
And what I had been trained to do was keep, protect.
Yeah.
And why on earth would I become friends with, connect with another coach who's in my space? Because what if that client likes her more than me? And what's amazing in when you open up and expand, just the abundance that can come to you, because we realize that while we've got a lot in common, we're also different. We complement each other. You work primarily with entrepreneurs. I work a lot with people in corporate, in professional environments, lawyers and accountants and stuff. And we approach things differently. And someone may feel a connection to me or you, and we want them to work with the right person to get them results. That's what we care about, right? And so the other lesson I learned is you were bold, and you just reached out and said, hi, can we get to know each other? And then you asked me to do something with you, which was such a gift to me, but you were bold to make the ask. So putting yourself out there, networking, and being bold and for your business. And so the exciting thing is I get to work with you and some other entrepreneurs starting next week.
Yeah.
It's next week. I know. I looked at the calendar.
It's actually happening.
Because you asked me like way before the holidays, right? We were talking about it way before the holidays, and you've been planning this a long time, I'm sure. You have a summit coming up. It's called the Success Alchemy Summit. I'm going to put a link here because everyone needs to go check it out, because it is a masterpiece of creativity that you've done to help people. Tell me more about it. Tell everyone more about it. I know I'm speaking on one of the days and I can't wait. But you've got some amazing people coming, and I'm starting to get to know them, by the way. That we've all been chatting behind the scenes, which is so fun. So tell me about the Success Alchemy Summit a little bit.
So the idea of the Success Alchemy Summit is to help founders and business leaders and entrepreneurs who are ready to sort of step things up a notch this year. And so I've brought together experts from different fields, from different specialties, who can each speak to a specific area that you need to sort of address to make sure that you can really bring that next level of success to life this year. So it's 10 days, and it's really to talk about ways to generate more revenue, how to avoid burnout with you. We've got social media, how to make social media simple, because so many of us struggle with this and it is so hard. So we've got an amazing speaker for that. We've got Natasha speaking on how to create video that sort of magnetizes people to your brand. I mean, you have to go check it out because there's such amazing people, and we're all talking on different things. We all pretty much work with very similar people, but we all serve them in very different ways. And everyone is bringing, special resources to share with participants. So I know it's going to be packed with value, and it's going to be super fun because that's always one of my values. I just love just chatting to such amazing people. So I would really encourage people to check it out. It's incredible.
Well, I can't wait. Given I've put the link here for people to go find, and I'll put it everywhere after we've finished talking. But the lineup is incredible. The humans you have coming are, I mean, first rate. I mean, well done. It just speaks volumes of how well you're respected, how bold you are, and I love that you have put this together. I can't wait. I know I'm going to learn so much.
Yes, me too. I mean, that's the joy. I'm going to learn from each one of these amazing speakers as well.
I've got a new notebook ready for it, for the Summit Success Alchemy Summit notebook, because I'm going to, and it's free. I think you said that, but just it's free. And one thing I loved about the way you approach this, which is unique, I think in so many ways, when you asked me, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, when you asked me to speak, it was very important to you before we started working together that I had some value to add, and that I was giving and had free resources to give to people. And I do, and I think you've asked of that of everyone, that there's a lot of value that people can get for free, and obviously people can pay to work with any of but that you could walk away from the summit with so much free value that you could go off into your business life and be raring to go in so many ways, which I think is fabulous.
Yes, that's what I want. I know that so many people out there are struggling with their businesses right now, and maybe they can't invest at the level that they would like to. And I just really want to help. I really want to help because I really feel like we've got to get, people out there, sharing the things that matter to them. So yes, I think if you attend the summit, you're going to come away with so much that's going to really help. And you don't have to invest at any point except your time and showing up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and that is valuable. And it's for current entrepreneurs at any level. It's for people thinking about making the jump to running and owning their own business. I think it's really for anyone who, even the people in corporate America who are like, oh, but I work, I have a 9 to 5, or I have this stable career. If you have a burning desire in you to do something else, another stream of income, if you have a passion, this world is so rich right now. You don't have to be just one thing. You can have many facets of your life that are rich, and so you will learn something from somewhere. I want to write a book this year. You have someone that can help with that. There are various things, and so I really encourage, no matter where you are in career or business, to check it out, and there will be someone speaking that has something for you.
At least one person. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. And the other thing that is maybe different to other experiences like this is that we're not doing formal presentations. It's just going to be conversations like this, where the experts will be sharing really valuable resources and trainings and, just amazing things, but it's not going to be, got to sit down and study now, and watch 2,500 slides. We're not doing that this time.
Which, let's be honest, like that spoke to me because, give me a slideshow and I'm subpar. So I was like, great.
It's less fun. So, there you go. It's another reason why we're not doing it with the slides.
I love it. And that's the key. You're creating, you are a beacon in that you are creating your business the way you want to too.
Yes. I want to make it fun for everyone, including myself, right? That I'm creating something that I want, that I would want if I were a few steps behind in my business journey.
Right.
And that's, I think that's
so it starts on January 22nd, and you have a different speaker each day, and it goes till what date? Remind me.
February 2nd.
February 2nd. So there's lots and lots and lots to do. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. I always want to leave that open, but as people watch this on replay, please pop comments, pop questions, message me directly, message Natalie directly. We'll put your links and where they can reach you everywhere too. Connect with us. We would love that. And we're here to help, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's been such a pleasure.
So fun talking to you, Claire.
You too. Well, and I will see you next time.
Yes. Can't wait.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.